Chosen one, listen carefully, this message you about to hear. There is a moment in every chosen one's life when the air subtly changes. You may not hear a sound, but something shifts within and around you. A presence becomes aware of your existence. Not everyone is meant to be seen, but you were never meant to stay hidden. You didn't imagine the sudden pressure, the unusual delays, or the unexpected attention. These are not coincidences. They are signs of recognition. Someone in power has noticed the frequency you carry. This awareness didn't begin today. It began the moment you chose truth over comfort, light over approval, silence over noise. And now, the moment has arrived where ignoring this message would cost you more than you realize. The invisible eyes watching. Power does not always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it watches quietly, observing patterns, studying consistency, measuring strength under pressure. You have felt it, that sense of being tested without explanation, doors half opening then closing again, people reacting strongly to you without knowing why. This is not random resistance. This is surveillance at a spiritual level. When you carry something rare, forces of influence pay attention. Not to destroy you, but to decide whether you are ready. Why you stand out without trying. Chosen ones never blend in, even when they try. Your presence shifts rooms. Your words linger longer than intended. Your silence speaks louder than most voices. You were designed with an inner authority that cannot be taught. It was placed within you. That is why imitation never fits you. You may have wondered why normal paths never satisfied your soul, why routine felt suffocating, why comfort made you restless. It is because your assignment requires awareness, not conformity. The awakening you could not escape. Spiritual awakening is not a trend. It is a disruption. It dismantles illusions and exposes truth. It pulls you away from familiar lies. You didn't choose to wake up. You were activated, triggered by loss, betrayal, isolation, or sudden clarity. The pain you endured was not punishment. It was preparation. Every breakdown stripped away what could not go with you. Awakening is uncomfortable because it removes masks, including your own. Signs you were marked for more. You have always sensed more than others, felt energy before words, understood silence better than noise. You question systems instead of blindly obeying them. You feel drained in shallow environments. You crave depth even when it costs you connection. People project onto you, admire you quietly, resent you silently, test you unconsciously. These are not flaws. These are indicators of calling. Why society tries to dim your light. Systems are built for predictability, not purpose. Chosen ones threaten comfort because they expose truth. When you cannot be controlled, you will be criticized. When you cannot be labeled, you will be misunderstood. Society does not silence you directly. It distracts you, overstimulates you, pressures you to doubt yourself. Not because you are wrong, but because you are powerful. The price of being seen. Once you are noticed, life no longer feels random. Everything carries weight. Conversations feel layered. Decisions feel heavier. You are no longer moving alone. Your actions echo. Your choices influence unseen outcomes. This awareness can feel overwhelming. That is why many chosen ones retreat before stepping forward. But retreating now would be refusing your own evolution. The tests before the opportunity. Power never approaches untested potential. Before elevation comes pressure. Before trust comes trial. You are tested in patience, integrity, discipline, humility, especially when no one is watching. Moments where compromise seems easier, where silence feels safer, where quitting feels logical. These tests determine whether you are ready to carry influence without losing yourself. Why this is your only chance. Opportunities of alignment do not repeat endlessly. There are windows in time that open briefly. This is one of them, a crossroads where awareness meets action, where hesitation costs more than failure. You may feel fear because you sense the importance. Fear often appears when destiny is near. Missing this moment means returning to cycles you already outgrew. The responsibility of the chosen. Being chosen is not about superiority. It is about responsibility. You are entrusted with clarity in confusing times. Your role is not to dominate but to illuminate, not to control but to guide through example. This path demands self-mastery, emotional control, inner discipline. Power without wisdom destroys. Wisdom without courage delays. You are being asked to carry both. When isolation BCOMES initiation. Loneliness is not abandonment for the chosen. It is refinement. Isolation sharpens intuition. It removes dependency. It teaches you to hear your inner voice clearly. Those seasons where no one understood you were necessary. They were recalibrations. You were not being rejected. You were being realigned. The moment of decision. Every chosen one faces a moment where excuses lose power, where clarity becomes unavoidable. You are standing there now, feeling the pull, sensing the urgency. This is where many turn back to comfort, to familiarity, to safety. But comfort has never fulfilled you, and it never will. Step into what you already are. You do not need permission to become who you are meant to be. You need courage to stop denying it. The eyes watching you are not waiting for perfection. They are watching for authenticity. Stand firm, speak truth, move with intention. Your alignment activates doors logic cannot explain. This message found you for a reason. Not everyone hears this. Not everyone feels this. If this message resonates, it is because you are ready to remember who you are. Awakening is not becoming someone new. It is returning to what was always within you. And now you must choose to honor it. Rise and be counted. You were not awakened to hide. You were awakened to lead by being real. This world is shifting, and it needs those who see clearly. Do not shrink, do not delay, do not doubt what your soul confirms. This is your moment to rise. If this message spoke directly to you, like this video, so the truth reaches others who are waking up. Comment below and claim your awareness. Subscribe to return to awakening and stay aligned with messages meant for those who were never meant to remain asleep. The weight you have been carrying. There is a reason you have felt heavier lately, even when nothing obvious changed. Responsibility increases before revelation. Your soul sensed what was approaching long before your mind could explain it. This weight is not fear. It is readiness pressing against resistance. It is potential demanding permission to move. You may have tried to ignore it by staying busy, distracted, or quiet, but the calling only grew louder. What you are feeling is alignment knocking from the inside. Why certain people challenge you. Notice how authority figures react to you differently. Some feel threatened, others feel curious. A few feel drawn without understanding why. Your presence activates unresolved issues in others, not because you intend to, but because truth exposes contrast. Those who benefit from control sense your independence. Those who rely on illusion sense your clarity. This is why opposition often comes from unexpected places. The silent war for your attention. The real battle has never been outside of you. It has always been for your focus. If your attention is scattered, your power remains dormant. If your energy is drained, your clarity weakens. That is why distractions increased when you started becoming aware. Noise is used to drown intuition. Protecting your attention is protecting your assignment. When doubt is introduced purpose. Doubt did not appear randomly. It was planted through comparison, delay, and subtle discouragement. Moments where you questioned your worth, your timing, your significance. But doubt is often introduced right before expansion. It is a final filter. Those who push through it discover strength they did not know they had. The difference between power and ego. True power does not need validation. Ego demands applause. You were never meant to seek dominance over others. Your influence comes from steadiness, not force. That is why humility has been emphasized in your life, why pride never sat comfortably with you. You are being shaped to lead without losing compassion. Why you were kept out of certain rooms. Not every door that closed was rejection. Some rooms would have limited you. You were protected from environments that could not contain your growth. At the time it felt unfair, like delay, like exclusion. Now you can see that access without alignment would have cost you your authenticity. The signal you are sending without speaking. Even in silence, you transmit energy. People feel it before you speak. Your consistency confuses manipulators. Your calm unsettles chaos-driven minds. This is why some try to provoke reactions from you, to pull you out of center. Staying grounded is how you maintain authority. The moment power tests character. Influence always tests integrity. Small compromises first, justifications, rationalizations. You are watched closely during these moments, how you treated people who could do nothing for you, how you handled disrespect, how you responded when no reward was guaranteed. Character is the true qualification. Why you can no longer play small. You may have survived by shrinking before, by staying quiet, by minimizing yourself. That season is over. Playing small now would feel like betrayal to your own soul. Growth demands visibility. Responsibility demands courage. You are not awakened to remain unnoticed. When timing becomes urgent. There is a difference between patience and delay. You have mastered patience. Now the energy has shifted toward movement. You will feel restlessness if you hesitate, friction if you ignore intuition. These are signals, not pressure. The alignment that changes everything. When intention, action, and awareness align, resistance dissolves. You do not force doors open, they respond to readiness. This alignment is built through daily choices, not dramatic gestures. Consistency is what signals seriousness. The calm before visibility. Before recognition, there is often a quiet stretch, a pause. Do not mistake it for stagnation. It is stabilization. You are being anchored so that success does not shake you. Stillness is part of strength. The inner yes you must give. No external confirmation can replace internal consent. You must decide to stop questioning what your soul already accepted. This yes is not spoken out loud. It is lived through action, and once given, momentum follows, the shift in how others treat you. You may have noticed subtle changes in behavior around you, respect mixed with distance, curiosity mixed with caution. Some people speak differently now, choose words more carefully, others withdraw without explanation. This happens when your frequency changes, when people sense you are no longer operating from the same level. Growth creates separation before it creates alignment. Why no longer satisfies? Things that once made you happy now feel empty. Entertainment feels repetitive. Conversations feel shallow. This is not ingratitude. It is expansion. Your inner capacity outgrew old containers. Your soul is asking for meaning, not distraction, purpose, not pleasure. Ignoring this will only deepen the dissatisfaction. The discipline being formed in you. You are learning restraint where others seek excess, focus where others scatter energy. This discipline was not forced. It emerged naturally as you became more aware. You no longer chase validation. You value peace over attention. This self-control is a sign of readiness. Why certain paths feel closed. You may feel blocked from returning to old versions of yourself. Old habits no longer work. Old escapes feel ineffective. This is intentional. Regression is being made uncomfortable, so growth becomes the only option. The path forward may feel uncertain, but the path backward is intentionally restricted. You are being guided, even when it feels unclear. The difference between being ready and being called. Many feel called, few are ready. Readiness is shown through consistency, not excitement, through action, not intention. You have been preparing quietly, even when you thought nothing was happening. What feels slow is actually precise. The power of your response. How you respond now matters more than ever. Reactivity weakens authority. You are learning to pause, to observe, to choose your response consciously. This composure is noticed. It signals maturity. Power listens to those who are not ruled by impulse. Why truth feels heavier now. As awareness increases, so does responsibility. You can no longer pretend not to see what you see. Truth removes excuses. It demands alignment. This is why awakening can feel burdensome at first. But clarity eventually becomes freedom. The role of silence in your growth. You are speaking less but saying more. Silence sharpens perception. It allows insight to surface without interference. Not everything needs to be explained. Some things are embodied. Your presence is becoming the message. When confidence replaces proof, you no longer feel the need to convince anyone. You trust what you know because it has been tested internally. This quiet confidence is unshakable. Those who need proof are not your assignment. The moment you stop seeking approval once felt necessary, now it feels irrelevant. This shift marks independence from external authority. You are guided from within, not by opinion. This is a defining transition for the chosen. Why your energy attracts attention. Consistency attracts observation. Integrity attracts trust. You move with intention, even when unseen. Those in power recognize patterns of reliability. You are being evaluated through alignment, not performance. The line you can no longer cross. Certain compromises are no longer possible for you. Your conscience responds immediately now. This is not rigidity, it is clarity. You know what costs too much to lose. The strength of self-respect. You walk away from what drains you. You protect your energy without guilt. This self-respect reshapes how others engage with you. Boundaries are a form of leadership. The quiet CONFRMATONS around you. Small signs keep appearing, repeated messages, timely encounters. These are not coincidences, they are affirmations. You are being reassured without being overwhelmed. Trust is being built gradually. The readiness you can feel. There is a calm certainty growing within you. Not excitement, not anxiety, stability. This is readiness settling into place. When you feel this, movement is near, the increase in inner authority. You may notice you no longer ask for permission internally. Decisions feel clearer. Doubt has less influence. This is not arrogance. It is alignment. Your inner voice has become stronger than external noise. You trust yourself because you have survived confusion and emerged with clarity. Inner authority forms before outer recognition appears. Why certain connections fade away. Some relationships cannot follow you into this phase, not because of conflict, but because of frequency. You are no longer nourished by what once sustained you. Conversations feel repetitive. Energy feels mismatched. This separation is not punishment, it is precision. Space is being created for aligned connections. The pressure to self-abandon. You may feel moments where blending in seems easier, where shrinking feels safer. These urges arise when visibility approaches. Ego wants comfort, soul wants expansion. You are being tested on whether you will abandon yourself for acceptance. This is a critical threshold. Why patterns are repeating. Certain situations appear again, but you respond differently now. This is not regression, it is confirmation. You are being shown how much you have grown by facing familiar energy with new awareness. Completion happens when reaction no longer controls you. The role of discernment. Not everything that shines is aligned. Not every opportunity is meant for you. You are learning to feel before you move, to sense intention behind words. Discernment protects your mission. Rushing would cost you precision. When energy speaks louder than words. You pick up on shifts before explanations arrive. Tone, timing, intention. This sensitivity is not weakness, it is intelligence. You are trained through experience to read beneath surfaces. This ability keeps you ahead without force. Why urgency is felt internally. No one is pressuring you externally, yet something feels time-sensitive. This urgency comes from alignment, not fear. Your soul recognizes the narrowing window of inaction. Movement is being requested, not demanded. The difference between noise and signal. Many voices compete for attention, only one brings peace. You are learning to distinguish stimulation from truth. Noise excites, signal stabilizes. Follow what brings clarity, not adrenaline. The strength of emotional regulation. You no longer react immediately. You process, you choose. This emotional mastery separates leaders from followers. Anyone can feel, few can regulate. This control is being observed closely. Why you are drawn to simplicity. Complexity drains you now. You seek clarity, order, purpose. This shift reflects internal organization. As the mind clears, priorities sharpen. Simplicity allows power to flow efficiently. The moment you realize you are different. There was a quiet realization. You are not meant for ordinary cycles. Not better, different. Your path requires awareness others may never seek. Acceptance of this truth brings peace. The test of consistency. Can you remain aligned when nothing is happening externally? This is where many drift. Consistency without reward builds credibility. This phase determines trustworthiness. The calm confidence forming. You are not rushing, you are ready. There is no need to announce anything. Your steadiness speaks for you. Confidence rooted in truth cannot be shaken. The feeling that something is close. You sense proximity, not certainty of outcome but nearness of change. This feeling is subtle but persistent. It does not excite, it grounds. This is how real transitions announce themselves, the refinement of your intns. You are becoming more honest with yourself about why you do what you do. Motives are being purified. What once came from fear now comes from clarity. What once came from proving now comes from purpose. This refinement makes your actions cleaner and more effective. Power aligns with those whose intentions are clear. Why temptation shows up now. Distractions often appear right before alignment locks in. Shortcuts, comfort, old habits calling your name. These are not rewards, they are tests of commitment. You are being asked to choose long-term alignment over short-term relief. This choice strengthens your authority. The quiet withdrawal from chaos. You no longer feel pulled into drama. Noise feels intrusive. Conflict feels unnecessary. This withdrawal is not avoidance, it is sovereignty. You are conserving energy for what truly matters. When self-trust becomes non-negotiable. You stopped second-guessing your intuition. Even when outcomes are unclear, your inner knowing remains steady. This trust was earned through experience, not affirmation. It now guides your movement effortlessly. The role of patience this day. You are not waiting idly, you are positioning. Patience now looks like preparation, not stillness. You refine skills, observe patterns, strengthen discipline. This patience prevents premature exposure. Why you feel called to lead by example. You no longer try to convince, you demonstrate. Your life becomes the evidence. Those who are meant to follow will recognize alignment without explanation. Influence grows naturally from embodiment. The balance between visibility and protection. You are learning when to be seen and when to remain quiet. Not everything needs to be shared. Not everyone needs access. This balance protects your momentum. Selective visibility is strategic. When energy no longer lies, you sense authenticity instantly now. Words cannot mask intention around you. This sensitivity helps you navigate power dynamics with clarity. It keeps you from misplaced trust. The strength of detachment. You are attached to purpose, not outcome. You move without desperation. This detachment creates magnetic stability. Those in power respect those who cannot be easily swayed. Why this phase feels sober. Excitement fades, seriousness emerges. This is not loss of passion, it is maturation. You understand what is at stake. Clarity replaces fantasy. The moment you stop CHASING signs, you no longer seek confirmation everywhere. You act from knowing, not reassurance. Signs follow alignment, not the other way around. This marks internal authority fully activated. The shift from seeker to steward. You are no longer searching for meaning. You are carrying responsibility. Stewardship requires care, discipline, and humility. This role suits you now. The stillness that holds power. Silence no longer feels empty. It feels charged. Within it, direction becomes obvious. Stillness has become your strength. The awareness of consequence. You recognize that choices now ripple outward. Your influence is subtle but real. This awareness sharpens discernment. You move carefully, intentionally. The sense of being positioned. You feel placed, not stuck. Even uncertainty feels purposeful. You trust the process because you recognize the design. This is preparation reaching completion, the final SHAPING of your character. You are being refined at the level others never see. Thoughts, reactions, private decisions. What you choose when no one is watching matters now more than ever. This shaping feels subtle but intense. It is preparing you to carry weight without bending. Why delays no longer frustrate you. Waiting does not irritate you the way it once did. You understand timing now. You sense when movement would be premature. Delays feel intentional, even protective. This patience signals maturity. The shift from wanting to know to trusting. You no longer need to understand everything in advance. Control has been replaced by confidence. You move forward even when the full picture is hidden. Trust has become operational. Why your words carry more impact. When you speak now, people listen differently. Your words are fewer but heavier. You speak from alignment, not emotion. This gives your voice authority. The end of proving yourself. You stop trying to justify your path. Those who understand do not need explanations. Those who do not are not meant to follow. Freedom came when you accepted this. The stability that ATTRACTS influence. You are steady in moments where others panic. This calm is rare. Stability attracts those seeking direction. This is how influence begins quietly. Why certain OPPORTUNITIS feel serious. Not exciting, not flashy, serious. They carry responsibility rather than reward. Your hesitation is not fear, it is respect for the weight. You understand what commitment requires. The end of escape, PATTRNS. You no longer numb discomfort. You face it, process it, learn from it. This emotional honesty builds resilience. You are no longer running from yourself. The awareness of being evaluated. You feel it without paranoia. Not judged but observed. Consistency matters now more than intensity. Reliability speaks louder than potential. Why you value alignment over speed. Fast movement without clarity no longer appeals to you. You choose precision over haste. This protects your long-term trajectory. True progress feels grounded, not rushed. The moment you realize power is quiet. True authority does not announce itself. It moves calmly, decisively. You recognize it now because you are developing it. Loudness no longer impresses you. The internal commitment that locked in. There was a moment you stopped negotiating with yourself. You committed internally, without ceremony. This decision shifted everything. After that, resistance lost its grip. The calm acceptance of your role. You are no longer questioning whether this path is yours. You accept it without drama. This acceptance brings peace. Peace becomes your foundation. The feeling that the door is NEAR. You sense readiness around you. Not urgency, not anxiety. Quiet readiness. This is how real doors approach. This is not just a message, this is a call. If you felt this in your chest instead of just hearing it in your ears, then you already know this was meant for you. Do not ignore that knowing. Do not scroll past your own awakening. Claim this moment right now. Like this video to seal your alignment and signal that you are ready for what comes next. Comment below with a single word that represents where you are on your journey: aware, ready, rising, and let your voice be counted among those who refuse to stay asleep. Subscribe to Return to Awakening if you are done living beneath your potential and ready to receive messages meant only for those who were chosen to see beyond the surface. Stay here, stay alert, stay aligned. This path only reveals itself to those who commit.